What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we will be discussing, Boruto episode 223. So let's get into it. So first of all, this episode is titled Inojin versus Hoki, and you know, I think this was a good episode. I have to say. So this episode starts with Boruto and Mitsuki sitting atop a building looking at the Hokage stone faces while talking about the Chunin exams that will soon be started. Suddenly Himawari comes calling, big brother, over here, I'm over here." We then cut to the big bad Chunin exams where we first see Konohamaru, Shikamaru, and Sai talking about the new arena, how it was destroyed in the last exam when Momoshiki and his group with Shikamaru mentioning the Shonin exam is exclusive to the Hidden Leaf as the incident with Kara just ended, so he didn't have any plans to do anything fancy. He also mentions that because Konohamaru took on all the annoying prep work, all of this could be able to happen. He then tells Konohamaru that he's counting on him to refer free as well, to which Konohamaru replies, "Just leave it to me." We then see Boruto, Mitsuki, and Himawari talking. Himawari tells Boruto and Mitsuki while practicing being a ninja with her friends Iho and Yuina from the academy trial session. Iho came across some sketchy people. He then figured that something was wrong, so he started tracking them, after which Yuina became worried and followed him. She then asked Boruto what should she do. Him being the big brother tells her, he will check things out, as he still has time left before the Chunin exams. We then see Naruto and Kiwaki at home, with Naruto asking Kiwaki if he wants to go watch the Chunin exams. Kiwaki replies, "Not really, that does you though." Naruto then tells him, it's a good opportunity to see all sorts of ninjutsu and powerful shinobi in action. Knowing that Kiwaki is very much interested in stuff like that, we then see that the final round is about to begin, with Konohamaru explaining the conditions to the candidates. When Sarada mentions that Boruto and Mitsuki aren't here as yet, Konohamaru then tells the candidate that if they are present when their name comes up, they won't be disqualified, as they will be drawing names for each match, as the names are in a jar. Konohamaru then draws the names for the first match. It's Inojin versus Hoki. He then announces that the match will begin in 15 minutes. We see Boruto, Mitsuki, and Himawari arrive at where Iho and Yuina are. Boruto and Mitsuki then sees a group of guys, the guys Iho was talking about, and realize that they have captured Amado and is leaving with him on a train. Mitsuki and Boruto then manages to hop on the train before it leaves. Of course, we cut to Team 10 in a locker room as Inojin will be in the first match. Also, we see Team 25 in another locker room talking as Hoki will also be in the first match. We then see Hoki and Inojin standing opposite each other. Konohamaru then tells them to begin. Inojin launches his super big scroll. It hits Hoki, but he's still on his feet. Inojin then launches another attack. Hoki blocks it with his hands. Then Inojin launches a huge attack, which Hoki looks shocked But he then does something very awesome. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen hand signs in Naruto, and Hoki did some awesome hand signs. Of course, it was an Earth style jutsu, Taijin Bow, I think it was, right? Which sends tall rock structures shooting out the ground, covering entire fighting ground. Inojin has now lost sight of Hoki, only glimpsing him here and there. Inojin then spots Hoki and runs towards him, but when he gets to where he saw Hoki, he disappears. This happens for a while. Hoki is seen running around to the point where Naruto, who is sitting watching the game with Sai and Shikamaru, asks if Hoki has gotten lost in his own maze. Sai replies and tells Naruto that Hoki has the ability to instantly recall anything he sees once, meaning he's memorizing the terrain as he's running around. Hoki, after memorizing the terrain, starts to Inojin. Inojin, getting hurt, realizes that Hoki has figured out the layout of the maze, so he decides to take to the skies, summoning a bird from his Super B scroll. He then spots Hoki and descends. Hoki, knowing Inojin would do so, summons an Earth-style pillar, shooting from the ground, running straight through Inojin's bird, sending Inojin crashing down in Hoki's direction. Suddenly, Inojin draws his Super B scroll and summons some bird attacks towards Hoki, which Hoki blocks, causing him to lose sight of Inojin. We then see Hoki trying to put distance between him and Inojin, or where he assumes Inojin is, in order to avoid Inojin's mind transfer jutsu. When he suddenly spots a mark from Inojin's brush, after which he sees Inojin's shadow behind the rock, where he sees the mark from Inojin's brush. We then see Inojin hiding behind the rock. Hoki leaps from behind with a kunai. Inojin then turns in his direction, saying, "I figured that's what you would do. Mind transfer jutsu." We then see Hoki and Inojin in Hoki's mind, with Hoki kneeling to Inojin and Inojin pointing his palm towards Hoki's head. Inojin then explains that he figured Hoki was tracking him based on the splatters of his brush, and that he would attack from his blind spot in order to avoid the mind transfer jutsu. After declaring that he would win, Hoki's body in the mind transfer jutsu realm starts to turn into a big slimy monster, eating Inojin, kicking him out of Hoki's mind, breaking the mind transfer jutsu. When Inojin regains consciousness, Hoki is standing above him, holding his kunai to Inojin's head. Hoki then tells Inojin, "That was close. If you'd taken over my body right away, I would have lost." Konohamaru then declares the winner, who is Hoki, and Chocho and Shikadai then rushes to Inojin's side to comfort him. Inojin then asks, "What was that?" "It's a jutsu that blocks out mental attacks," says Sai, as he appears on the battlefield. This guy just came out of nowhere. He then goes on to explain that if a member of the Anbu Black Ops is captured, the enemy might peer into their mind. So he trained Hoku. Of course, Hoku is a part of the Anbu Black Ops. So he trained Hoku to resist that. The two teams talk for a while, as Hoku teammates, they came on the battlefield as well. And it ended with Hoku and Inojin shaking hands. We then see Konohamaru drawing for the second match. It's Iwabe versus Wasabi. We cut to Boruto and Mitsuki crashing into a car on the train hoping to find Amado, but there's no one there. It seems they've lost sight of the car that Amado is in. And so the episode ends. I did like this episode. It was tight. Of course, I did like the hand sign thing, of course, I really did. And like the jutsu that the guy did. I mean, you guys have to see it. But that's how it goes. Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, subscribe. If you don't know, yeah, respect.